Very sorry about that. We seem to be having many gremlins. We've got a hyena here that's injured. It's lifting up its foot. Now, like I was saying to you, there was so much commotion going on last night. I'm just going to turn up this way, Craig, just to give Tax a spot to view it as well. I don't actually know what's gone on, but it's not uncommon to have, of course, domestic disputes, if you will, within the clan of hyenas. But that foot does not look good. You can see it's obviously in a bit of pain. It's holding it up. It doesn't want to put any pressure on it. So it could have been from a number of different things. It could have been running, and it could have fallen into a burrow of some sort. We often see animals breaking their legs like that. I don't know if it's broken though. It's a bit hard to tell from here, but it definitely doesn't look particularly good. So I wonder if that's why when we were sitting during pre-show, 2 of the hyenas actually didn't want to move at all. They kept looking back towards the tent, and that's exactly where this hyena's come from. It's come from James's favourite spot in the sands, from his tent. I don't know if they were in the tent. I doubt that they were in the tent. And that makes a lot more sense now why they kept looking back, but there was so much commotion. There was lots of squealing. So there's obviously been a slight altercation. We might pop past the den to see if there's anything happening there as well. But of course, you guys know how to identify these hyenas better than I do, so you're welcome to hashtag Safari Live with who you think this member could be. But it does not look too well. Maybe you must go back and have a rest. I think it's looking for the rest of the clan now. But the other 3 that we saw initially looked very healthy, looked fine, in fantastic condition. They were nice and fat. Like I said, even one of them was eating something, so I don't know what they were feeding upon. Just also listening, because they were communicating quite a bit earlier on this morning. Sort of soft whoops, sort of like a woo. They weren't doing the normal whooping sound, so it sounded like they were maybe just doing close sort of contact communication. Craig, should we go up again? Now, we must remember, now we've got an injured animal. We have to, of course, respect this animal. We need to give it room. Right, so we're not going to pressure it. We'll just have another look at it, of course, just so you guys can be able to identify it. But Gina, you've said, do you think the sounds that they were making could have been from an injury being sort of made to this hyena? Definitely, most certainly. It was a strange noise. It wasn't a very pleasant sound that we were hearing. I'm just going to go up and we'll look from a distance. Like I said, I don't want to put too much pressure on an injured animal. It can't be very nice. You know, it's like when you go to hospital and you've had an operation, they're visiting hours for that exact reason. You need to get rest. So we'll just watch it as it walks. No, you see, now it's walking. Look at that. I suppose that just shows you how resilient these creatures are, because it didn't want to put any weight on its foot, and now look at it. It's fine. Excuse me. Wouldn't be a safari if I didn't sneeze. Okay, well, I don't know what was wrong with it. Maybe it just sort of jarred a joint. You know what that can be like if you do running and you roll your ankle. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes before you can put any weight down on it, but you eventually get it back again. So maybe that's what's happened. Maybe they were playing or chasing after that one hyena that had a meal and they were trying to steal it from her. And then there was an altercation that happened. So that's another thing. There's many different things that could have happened. We can only really just speculate. It's quite difficult to, of course, tell. But I'm just happy that it's putting weight down on its foot again. That makes me feel a whole lot better. But remember, these animals are resilient. They bounce back like you have absolutely no idea. So to be worried about something like a hyena, which is known for being a scavenger but also a great hunter, I think that they are very, very tough creatures. I mean, who wouldn't be when you hang around wild dogs, lions and leopards trying to steal their meals? Now, Sally from Oregon, you're wondering if the pack would help this hyena or if it will have to stay on its own. So typically we refer to a group of hyenas as a clan, and normally wild dogs will be a pack of dogs. But no, they're not necessarily going to help it. So, you know, and this is what's so nice, the differences between hyenas and wild dogs is obviously wild dogs they're amazing animals. But when there is an injured member in the pack, they normally stay at the den side or they stay behind and they'll bring food back for that member. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen with the hyenas. Hyenas don't sort of regurgitate their food like wild dogs do. And I don't think that they would bring back chunks of meat. They normally bring back chunks of meat to den sites, as all the little ones will chew on them, but typically not for an adult. Like I said, I'm not sure which hyena this is. Megan, has anybody said who they think this hyena could be? So I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure of the ranking of this hyena. And that, of course, will have a whole lot to do with it. But it'll be fine. Look at it already. We saw it just a couple of minutes ago, not being able to put any weight on its foot. And now look, it's got a slight limp. It'll be fine. Remember, once that adrenaline kicks in, if it's going to try and hunt something or if it's going to try and scavenge, that all goes away. They forget that they have an injury. It's like the day that I was charged by that buffalo with a broken leg in the cars. I was calling it in. We've told the story often. I'm telling the bushwalk team, it was actually James, don't come into this area. There's a buffalo with a broken leg. And as I was doing that, it's like there was nothing even wrong with her. She put all four legs down on the ground and charged straight towards me. But I think we'll let this hyena carry on. Like I said, it is slightly distressed just because of an injury. Let's go around. That leopard that was soaring, I don't know who it could be. Okay. So, Crystal, thank you so much. You think that it is Scarback's daughter from June 2015. Okay, that's quite interesting. She's still walking she's going this way, but let's carry on. Let me see if I can try and track down that hyena that was carrying that whatever it was eating. Like I said, I don't know what it was eating, and then we'll go back to the den at some point too. But maybe we can catch up with these others. They weren't running off like they were racing the other morning, but there must be another den site somewhere, because I feel like this is the second time that something like this has happened, where we've had them coming from the Gallagher den and now they're up here on quarantine and then they go straight south. So I wonder if there's not another spot that they're using as well. We'll see if we have any fresh tracks going in towards the old den or Philemon's cut line. If there aren't any tracks going straight towards it, then it means they're not using it. But there are so many massive termite mounds between Rebecca's and Zoe's road down here. We've done many walks. We've actually gone and investigated and had a look around there. I would not be surprised if there was another spot that they were using. And hopefully once we start doing bushwalks again, I think that for me, that's going to be the first spot that I go down without a doubt. I'm going to go and have a look with Herbie's guidance, of course, and start investigating around all of these termite mounds and just trying to figure out, which areas they're moving to. So the tracks, she was coming in this direction, but now I don't see hyena tracks, but she could have taken a shortcut.